It's time for the Trading Stocks Made Easy podcast. Each week, Trading Stocks Made Easy demystifies stock trading and investing so you can profit big. And now, here's the host of Trading Stocks Made Easy, the wealthy investor, Tyrone Jackson.
Hey everybody, it's Tyrone Jackson. Welcome back to Trading Stocks Made Easy. This is episode 254. Why am I so excited right now? Am I excited because of tariffs? No. Because the market is down? No. Because there's uncertainty in the air and lots of volatility? No. I'm excited because Kevin, my engineer, has reminded me that this podcast or show has been going for over a decade. I thank all of you who've discovered us, liked us, learned from us. It's really, really terrific. Over a decade of podcasting. That is really exciting and absolutely wonderful. I do want to say a big thank you to all of you who have recently signed up and taken my advanced stock and options trading course, because during our last group call session Q&A, I was so happy to see that almost everybody is making money in this down market. So if you're new to stock market trading and investing, you're in the right place. The episode is not only Trading Stocks Made Easy, but that's what this show has focused on. How can you easily make money buying and selling stocks, whether markets are up, down, or stay the same? Or, as we like to say on Wall Street, bullish, neutral, or bearish? Well, this episode's going to be just a little bit different because this is talking about higher trading skills. So if you don't know what's going on in the stock market right now, let me explain it to you. We have an administration that is fixated on tariffs, on raising tariffs all around the world and on all inputs that come into the United States. And the economic impact of that, we're about to feel in the United States over the next 90 days. There are going to be businesses that close, services that are unavailable. Why? Because as we stand at the time of this recording, there are tariffs on China that are up 145%. The cost of entering those goods from China into this country is now up 145%, including your iPhone and all that Apple hardware. That is unsustainable for the United States. It's unsustainable for China and the other countries that have been forced into paying higher taxes just to get their goods into the United States. That has caused the stock market to dramatically pull back. Even stocks that have been doing very well for over a decade, well, they've given back substantially. So most of us have portfolios that are off their highs. So if you had a $300,000 account 6 months ago, it's not $300,000 right now. It's closer to $200,000. If you were a self-made millionaire and you had $2 million in your account, well, you're probably down to about 1.3. Now, how do I know? I know because, well, I've been trading in the stock market for over 25 years. And also, stocks, when they're at their high, that's not really the real value of your account, right? The value of your stock ownership changes on a daily basis. If you were heavily invested in tech stocks like semiconductors, guess what? When those stocks drop, they really drop. But if you were invested in, let's say, construction stocks or accounting stocks or banking stocks, your portfolio wasn't hurt quite as much. Why? Because technology stocks, particularly semiconductors, well, they're very, very, very volatile. So when your portfolio drops, let's say 30%, what do you do? That's what today's episode of Trading Stocks Made Easy is all about. Now, right before I start to explain to you how we use put options and straddles, I want to remind you we have an event coming up in Maui that you really, really should attend. So please go to thewealthyinvestor.net, sign up for the free newsletter. If you want to come and learn advanced trading stock strategies with me live in person, up close, in Maui, this is our annual event, and it is a whole lot of fun. Why? Because we do it at a 5-star environment, and your daily meals are included, and that's really great. So I love teaching the advanced stuff live and in person, and I love the expressions on people's faces when they realize that there are some people right now in this market earning $10,000 to $100,000 a week in bear market strategies. All right, so let's get into it here. In a market that is bullish where stocks are going up, in the Wealthy Investor Program, we use covered calls, preferably out of the money covered calls, to sell rights against the shares that we own. The process of selling a covered call is income generating, and it's the one trade in the stock market where the money that you earn is absolutely guaranteed. I was actually selling covered calls a couple of hours ago, and I always know how much I'm going to make before I buy the stock and sell the call. Or if I own the shares, I can tell you how much money I'm going to make in the next 30 days just from selling the rights over and over and over again. In a market like this, when your favorite stock falls, you're going to be selling out of the money calls, but not based on your purchase price, based on a trailing cost basis. That's how you're going to maximize the amount of income that's coming in. So let's say you gave the wealthy investor approach a shot and you got really good at cover call writing and depositing money in your account. Many of my students are earning between $15,000 and $50,000 a month selling covered calls. Now, if the stock drops, can you earn the same amount of money? You can, but it takes practice. But imagine, even if your stocks went down, you were still able to pull in a solid $10,000 a month. Well, you're still a six-figure trader, and that doesn't include the money that you're pulling in from dividends, right? Well, how do we keep our call income coming in, or something that resembles our covered call income? Well, this demands higher trading skills. So when markets are rising, covered calls and volatility trades, buying a stock, waiting for it to go up $1, having the software sell the shares off for you. Well, when the market is declining, you can't sell those shares for a $1 uptick. So we use advanced option trading strategies to take advantage of the volatility in the stock. And what I've been teaching lately, which I absolutely love, one of my favorite trades, is something called a straddle. Now, before I explain to you what a straddle is, let me explain to you that there's always money in the stock market, whether stocks are going up, down, or staying the same. That means your job is to become versatile in your trading, right? So no matter where your favorite stock goes, there's always money to be made. Now, an option is a right, not the obligation to purchase a particular group of shares at a strike price. If stocks are actually rising, you want to buy a derivative called a call option. So a call option rises when the stock price rises. If you want to make money when stocks are going down, you could own a put option. As the stock drops, or the underlying security, as we say on Wall Street, the put option goes higher. So you see, stocks are not the only game in town. Trading these derivatives are very, very lucrative. But what happens if you're in a market and you can't tell whether the next 48 hours is going to cause your favorite stock to rise or decline? Well, you would own the shares, and you would own a put option and a call option. That way you would be on both sides of the trade. It's kind of like a cowboy who hoists himself up on top of a horse. And how does he ride that horse? He is straddling that horse, right? He's actually sitting in the middle, and the horse is galloping or trotting, and the cowboy's on both sides of the horse's body, if you can visualize that. Well, a put and a call are purchased when markets are extremely volatile and you can't tell where a stock is actually going to go. And what I've loved about teaching straddles is, in the short term, if the stock goes down, you get paid from that by selling your put or taking profits on your put. If the stock suddenly races forward and you own a call option, you get paid on that side. What are we doing with the stock in the middle? We're collecting dividends and selling covered calls. Okay? Now, that's the basic version. There are more advanced versions of straddles where we deal with something called the delta. What is the delta on an option? Well, a delta is a Greek term that tells us how fast that put option will accelerate if the stock drops, or how fast that call option will accelerate when the stock goes higher. Delta neutral trading means we're going to purchase a put and a call with the same delta. Okay? Now, when I'm setting up straddles, there's a basic version where I'm going out and purchasing a longer dated put and a longer dated call in the same month. There's also, married with that longer dated call, a shorter dated put and a shorter dated call. Now, this is where you really have to know your stuff. So when I tell you there are traders out there earning $10,000 to $100,000 a month while the market is in its current state, most of them are owning a certain amount of call options and put options. How many more calls should you own and how many more puts should you own in a market like this? Well, that depends on the stock itself, how volatile it is, and something called your bias. Your bias is your long-term belief about a stock's direction over 3 months, 6 months, or even a year. You see, so although this show is called Trading Stocks Made Easy, there are some trades that actually have a fair amount of complexity to them. Now, don't let all of these terms throw you. I assure you, once you take a deep dive into becoming financially educated, you learn some new terms, and then you're able to generate more profits. So you see, the stock market is a wonderful, wonderful place if you learn how to become a self-directed investor, which many of you are, because when you give your money to someone else, they're not always allowed to trade for you. But with the right financial education, you can trade for yourself and have a wonderful, wonderful income. Back in a moment.
Want to increase your stock market trading profits? Then you need to start your monthly membership to WITradeschool.com right now. Don't understand how to write covered calls for monthly income? No problem. Simply review Tyrone's latest stock trades in our video library as many times as you need. WITradeschool.com is all about helping you get the financial education you need to earn money in the stock market and change your financial life. Tyrone Jackson, the wealthy investor, has helped his students earn thousands of dollars per month trading stocks online from home. These are people just like you. So what are you waiting for? Follow Tyrone Jackson's red-hot stock trades and investment strategies today. Don't wait. Start your monthly membership at WITradeschool.com right now.
And we're back. Make sure you head on over to thewealthyinvestor.net if you haven't and get my free ebook on trading and start learning, because right now the market is down. Why? It's reacting to external circumstances, right? But when this is all over, the stock market is going to race forward. Throughout the history of the U.S. stock market, every single time, 100% of the time, the market has pulled back. It has raced forward once the negative catalyst has been removed. And I see that happening within the next 3 to 6 months. We're going to have an upside explosion into stocks, and the wealthy are going to get even wealthier. Do you want to be one of them? You see, not everything in your life is about working hard, right? Somewhere in your life, there's a place for learning how to make money work for you. And it doesn't mean that your whole life has to be in service to someone else and that someone else has this incredible education that you don't. You know, a little effort goes a long way, like listening to this show. Most of you didn't know what a cover call was until you started listening to this show. In the same way that you didn't know what a straddle was until you started listening to this program. All right, let's get back to sophisticated trades. Now, there is a straddle in the stock market where I buy one call and one put. There are more sophisticated trades, and the next level up is something called a strangle, which is a little bit different than a straddle, but it involves a certain combination of calls and puts and maybe even some covered calls in the middle. There's also trades that involve multiple contracts of calls and puts financed by covered calls, right? Very interesting. Now, call options themselves are very interesting because when you own a call option, you can use that call option, that right, to generate monthly income by selling what we've referred to as a front month call against a longer call. I know that this is absolutely nuts, but for some of you who are new to trading, but you can own a call and then sell a call to create residual income, also married with stocks. If I'm owning a longer call and I'm selling a cover call against my call and my shares, that is what's known as a married position or a ratio right. Okay? So there's a lot going on in the stock market every hour on the hour, with millions of combination trades being placed and money to be made. The sad part about the stock market is less than 9% of the U.S. population owns stocks directly. Therefore, they'll never have a shot at $10,000 to $100,000 a month because most of the American population is out of the loop. But for those of us who are inside that loop and want to see our lives change financially, this financial education pays off for you over and over and over again, right? So we know that we can sell a call against a call. Now, what about a put option? Well, we can own a put option and we can actually sell a put option against a put option. So if you've ever seen any banking executive testify before Congress and Congress goes, it's ludicrous that you own that stock and you own the derivative that will gain in value should the stock ever drops. And the banker goes, yes, Congressman or Senator, that's standard practice on Wall Street. And then the congressman or the senator will say, that is ripping off the American people. No, it's not. It's just what you're allowed to do on Wall Street. That's why the people who become the richest, fastest in the U.S. stock market understand what these trades are, or they hire a firm or individual to trade for them. Do you see how it goes? People who understand how to use straddles, strangles, calls, and puts under every market condition to make hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now, I was born into a working class family, right? So as you've heard me say over the last 10 years, my mother said to me, the best thing could ever happen to you is that you get a job where you earn overtime. Now, she didn't know anything about the financial markets. When I was growing up, there wasn't something called the internet. But today, my children understand the significance of investing in the stock market and that there's some complexity there, but we could use that stock market as a business to generate residual income. And now that they are young people out into the world, what is it you think that they want now? Do you think they want to work a job for the rest of their lives? No. They're like, Dad, let's go over this stock market thing again and again and again and again because I need money now. And I see the relevance to having money come in on a regular basis. So I'm more than happy to be their father, but I'm really happy to be their friend and mentor financially, because if I pass this information on to my daughters, they have it to pass on to their kids, my grandkids, and that's why there's so much generational wealth in the stock market, because it's passed on from family member to family member. Who are you going to pass on your wealth to? Do you have a financial education? Do you understand some more of these sophisticated trades? Well, you're at the right place at the right time to start learning, because I think this market is going to be volatile and we're going to be stuck here around tariffs at least for the next 90 days. So that means there's $10,000 a month with your name on it. Yes, your name on it once you learn how to trade at a higher level. Think about what you've heard here today. Think about getting that financial future going, and think about moving forward so that you can have wealth and financial security in your life, not because we worship money, but because, well, trading in the stock market is a skill that will serve you until it's time for you to move on to the next dimension, until you die. So if there's $10,000 with your name on it, your job is to move forward and claim it. Well, that'll do it for this particular episode of Trading Stocks Made Easy. I suspect in the next 90 days, you're going to hear a lot of different stories from me about the money that's made, the sectors that are reacting negatively and positively in this market. I'll be right here to talk you through it. That'll do it for this episode of Trading Stocks Made Easy. You have so much to look forward to. I'm Tyrone Jackson, and I'll see you around the corner on the next episode.
You've been listening to the Trading Stocks Made Easy podcast. Be sure to rate and review our show on iTunes. While you're on iTunes, be sure to click the subscribe button, and you'll automatically receive our next episode.